Okay, today is the day that we are spaying Willow and Winnie. You ready for this, Winnie?
She is hungry.
So we separated Winnie and Willow from the herd last night, and they had no food or water because they are gonna have major surgery this morning. So we're gonna start with sedation and we'll get going. Such a pretty girl. She's hungry.
Oh, yeah, she's gonna eat
She's gonna eat any little bit of hay. Okay, Winnie is up first. So the vet's gonna start by just sedating her lightly, and it didn't take long with her. Are you finally feeling it? A little drool there.
All right, those schnozberries are tasting like schnozberries, sweetheart.
Good job.
There we go.
She was feeling pretty good at this point. After they strap her down in this little contraption, they prepped the area and they got to work. People often say that goats don't do well under anesthesia, and that is true if you live in a more rural area where you don't have a vet that specializes in it. But we're pretty lucky since we live in Phoenix. We have a lot of qualified vets in the area. Going under anesthesia always has its risks for humans and animals. So we knew that we were going to be taking a risk with doing this, but I wanted them to just be sure to have a long, healthy life and no risk of accidental pregnancies. A lot of people say goats can't handle anesthesia at all. What do you say to that?
I think goats can handle anesthesia. It's monitoring them closely so that way you can make sure that they're safe throughout their anesthetic event and choosing the right drugs. There's risks with every procedure that we do, but we take all the necessary steps to make it a safe procedure. And like these guys, like we fasted them since last night, so they're not likely to bloat on us, and overall recovery should be pretty uneventful for her.
Good. I'm gonna show that little.
there.
Very cool. Now we just wait for Winnie to wake up. She's having a good nap right now. Their rumen is still working and producing, so after she is done, we had to push on this and get her to burp because this is always working. Next up was Willow. Oh, sweet Willow. I love her so much. She went right down and they got right to work. So while they worked, I watched over Winnie and made sure that she did well and that she was starting to come out of her sedation. Last time we did Winston's castration, the vet taught me that while we're waiting, might as well clip hooves. So we're gonna trim her hooves real quick. Let's trim them since you're not gonna move. Oh, are you finally waking up now?
A little bit.
A little bit. There you go. Okay, mom and daughter are doing well. They're just conked out from all the drugs. And Kevin set up a little shade thing for them, and they're on the hill because they have to be at an angle so that their head is higher than their bodies and they can burp out any extra gas. But they did really good. Willow actually had a cyst on her ovary that burst when he was working on it, so it's good that we saw that, we got rid of that. Okay guys, so I almost didn't show this, but I feel like it's so interesting and educational, so I'm gonna show it anyway. So be prepared, you're gonna see what a goat ovaries and uterus looks like. So that's the one with the cyst.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it's almost like firm, and then also like here's her ovary. See how the ovarian structure, and then you have the cyst sitting over here.
Wow.
So
and that's the uterus.
That's
and
the uterus,
the two
the
uterine horns.
Very, very literal looking horns.
Yeah, they do look like a ram's horns. Yep. Crazy. So this line has been completely stopped. So Willow was spayed, and then all of her 3 offspring were either spayed or castrated. No more of the Willow line, but we love this line. They're so sweet and they're so pretty. She's waking up. She had her surgery first, so she's starting to wake up. Are you ready to go run around? And that's sort of a classic sign of having the leg issues, that she started walking like that because it felt better than to walk. There we go, you're up. And you get to be over in this area. So this is the recovery pen. I know. You just chilling? The vet also gave them a long-lasting pain medication, though I'm gonna give them some more tonight. So we should keep them pain-free. And now it's just about, you know, having them recover. They did really good. Are you calling for me? You are so cute. You are getting so big. Okay guys, me and Jasper are gonna explain why we had to spay the Willow line. You guys, I am such a sucker for sweet goats, and he has the best personality ever. We're not gonna keep him, but this is sort of the reason why we're in this situation. If you guys are new to our channel, or if you haven't watched us in a long time, Willow gave birth to triplets back in 2020, and around that same time, maybe a little bit before then, we noticed that Willow had some bendy front legs, some hyperextended front legs. And at first we thought maybe it was just a mineral deficiency, but while she got a little bit better with minerals, it didn't completely go away. So although we fell in love with her offspring, Winston and Winnie, and we decided to keep them, we were pretty hesitant about it and had explained to everybody that it was sort of an experiment. We wanted to see if the sire that we had bred Willow with, Moonrider, had helped breed out this sort of a defect. Turns out that didn't happen. Winston actually ended up developing it. So we had to go to plan B, and that meant stopping the line completely. Winston got castrated back in April, and I've always had on my schedule that once it got cooler, I was going to spay Winnie and Willow. Now Willow, she will always be here. She was our original first doe that we ever kept on the farm from one of our kittings, and we just fell in love with her. So she was like little Jasper here with the cutest little personality. So when we realized that this was going to be the ending of this line and we wouldn't be able to breed any of them anymore, we decided that we were going to rehome Winston and Winnie to a farm with some of their relatives on it. So if you remember, Willow's mom, Penny, she had triplets a few years ago. And so Winston and Winnie are gonna go to the home of Posey, who was renamed Nymphadora from Harry Potter. Her owner, Ariel, is such a good caretaker, and her purpose is to have pet goats. So this is sort of like a perfect situation. You look just like your daddy. Just like him. Oh, let's focus on your face, not mine. The funny part is we weren't even going to keep Winnie or Winston in the first place, but I'm such a sucker for good personalities that we decided to keep them. But now, since they're deemed as pets and we don't want to be a farm full of pets, we've decided to let Winston and Winnie go to a new home with their aunt. So I know it's sad, but it's a better situation for them because this home has goats specifically for pets. We'll love and take care of them, and just because they're not on camera doesn't mean they're not loved. So even though it's gonna be sad not to see them, I've gotta let them go to their new home. So in a couple weeks, we'll be taking Winston and Winnie to their new home. Are you being buck-like to me? That is funny. Because of this experience, we're gonna do a new thing on our farm. We're not gonna ever say we're going to keep a goat anymore. Every goat that's born on our farm from now on, we're gonna keep for longer than normal, and we're gonna assess them. And at a certain point, we're gonna decide one of three pathways for them. They will either be a pet goat, so they'll be a buckling that's been castrated. We call them wethers, so they'll either be a pet goat, they'll be a backyard milker goat, which are gonna be average milkers, or they're gonna be show and breed quality. So that'll help us watch them grow up and assess them better. So we're gonna keep a lot more babies, but they will leave at a later date. Not keeping this baby though, he's gonna go. I already know he's gonna be a really good pet. Ever since this Willow leg thing happened, I've been working really hard to learn more about goat body conformation, the best types of goat body structures for the healthiest goats. And as I'm learning, I'm gonna take you along with me, which means we will keep babies for longer, but we will determine later, based on their body structure and their genetics, on which of the three pathways they will go. As much as I love Winnie and Winston and their goofy personalities, I just can't justify keeping so many goats here for pets because we already have Big Luna as a pet, we have Willow as a pet, and as we take this journey with trying to see which traits can improve the breed, hopefully it will be fun to watch them grow up and have the babies stay here longer, like we got to do with Winston and Winnie. Do your jump, come on! Yay! Why do I look so weird?
You always look weird.
Why do I look so weird, like in the dark?
So basically, there's been this one silky chicken that's been...
Okay. So we have this miniature silky chicken of ours, and recently she has become broody. So the only other roosters that she could have bred with are our meat chicken roosters. So
yeah,
if she
an interesting
manages,
combination.
Yeah, if she manages to sit on these eggs for the next couple of weeks, we're gonna have some interesting chicks that come out of it. How are you? Are you gonna have bobbies?
She's been in there for a long time.
I think it's only been like a half a week or maybe even a whole week.
And if she stays in there for like a few more weeks, we might get baby chicks, but weird ones.
Good luck, Miss Silky. You can do it. This is an exciting day. Today the tree is coming down, well, the dead tree is coming down, and Kevin and his friend Dale are gonna try their hand at it today. We're gonna hope it doesn't hit the milking station or the chicken coop. Right, Kevin?
Yeah.
We've got all the little Nigerians here in this pen. We've got Hazel and baby in there, and Luna is all concerned about being by the bucks today, so she's gonna stay way over there. You care more about the bucks today, huh? Or that tree? Oof, they smell good over here. Luna always gets all these markings on her face from the feeder. She gets very aggressive when she eats. We're gonna take down the tree today and make another stump, okay? Do you want this? There you go. Okay, stay over here. In Arizona, they have a lot of cottonwood trees, which are great for about 30 years, and then they start to go hollow and die. Unfortunately, when we bought our house, it was already like 30 years old, so these trees were starting to die. The tree over by the goat pen is Willow Stump. As you guys know, it is Willow Stump. And this one will be Hello, how's everybody doing?
The Willow family.
Willow's hanging out on her knees like always.
Yep.
Hi, your knees bugging you today? Okay. Tonight they get a little bit of medicine.
Okay.
That was a rough day today, huh? You doing okay? Did you eat some food and drink some water?
Yeah, they sure did.
All right. She swallowed. Let's see if she drops it. Okay, let go of her. We'll watch her close. You gonna drop it? Or did you swallow it? Oh! You were hiding it!
He was.
Nope, don't you spit it out. Okay, I think she got it. Alright, Winnie. You've got to be better than your mom, okay? Come here. This will make you feel good. Swallow it. Swallow it. Swallow. Alright, I think she took it.
I think so.
So the girls are doing really well. They are eating food, drinking water. They don't seem to be in pain. They shouldn't be because we're giving them plenty of medication. So every night for the next week or so, we'll be giving them that pain medication just to be sure. And then in a few weeks, we'll remove the stitches. So they can't have babies any longer.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Wow, it feels so different without that tree there. It's kind of nice. We'll be able to see right from the milking station over to the chicken coop. And Hazel is actually doing a lot better. She's starting to get more milk. So we'll see how she ends up fully producing when she hits her peak at about 6 weeks. The chickens and geese all want their food right away, but I milk goats before I feed chickens. So one thing that's really desirable in the goat world is having low side attachments. So she has very high, so I can put my finger all the way up there. She has really high side attachments, and you want lower ones so that the udder doesn't wobble around like this and it's more supported and it's held up higher. But that can be fixed by breeding to a buck that has a mom with those traits. All right, we'll measure this when we go inside because it's always hard to tell with that foam on the top. Hazel's so funny, she runs straight back to her baby. Watch, right when I say that, she doesn't. She's probably wondering where that tree is. Come on, let's not fight, let's just get back. Watch out for the geese. The scary geese. Time to come out. There you go. I know, is that yummy? Good morning. Are you guys hungry? Are you wanting to get out already? Kevin, they want to get out and the vet said it was fine, so maybe I should let him out. Okay, well I was gonna feed you, but if you guys want to come out. Okay, hold on. Okay, I guess go on out there. They did not want to be locked up. These geese bully these goats. Go eat that food, it's better. Salem, don't do that. See, that's the problem. Whenever you take a goat away, even for just a day, and then you put them back together, they fight. Oh my gosh. Well, the vet said it was fine. Just let them go. Willow, you're being very dominant today. Look, he's watching. Are you watching them fight? Is that crazy? Okay guys, Hazel is getting up there in milk. Last week, she was only 2 cups, and now she's at 3. So, a Nigerian on average produces 4 cups, but usually you milk them twice a day, so you'll get 4 cups each time. Since Hazel is still feeding her baby, we can assume that she's producing 3 cups of milk for her baby for the other part of the day, and 3 cups for us. So we'll see how she is when she finally hits her peak. So, not too bad. Kevin's broad forking for me as we get ready for our winter garden. Seems like in Arizona we don't really have fall. We go from summer to winter. And so we're getting ready for the nice cooler weather and all of the veggies that we can grow. We don't have to broad fork that deep over here because we're just planting lettuces and they don't have very deep roots. If we were doing carrots, we'd go further down. Just a light sort of aerating of the soil and we'll be good. In addition to planting a few things like lettuces and then some snap peas on the trellis, today we're really going to spend most of our time planting the berries row. This row gets a fair amount of shade, which I know for berries usually isn't a good thing in anywhere else in the country. But in Arizona, when it's recommended to give a plant full sun, in Arizona that really just means partial sun. Because we get so much sun here that almost everything needs at least a little bit of shade. And friends of mine who have had the most success growing blueberries and strawberries here put them in a shady part of their yard. So this row is directly underneath a beautiful ash tree, which in the way it's positioned will give this row some shade at the hottest part of the day. Strawberries actually do fairly well here in Arizona. It's the blueberries that are going to be iffy. The strawberry varieties I chose were Quinault and Sequoia, and the blueberry variety is Sunshine Blue. These are all the varieties that are the most successful here in Arizona, so crossing our fingers it works. Kevin's gonna cut down a branch for me in the tree above, so they get a little bit more sun on that one side. Berries prefer a really acidic soil, and we have more of an alkaline soil here in Arizona, so I'm gonna have to keep adding acid mixes to this. I already prepped this row with an acid mix about 3 months ago, so, but yeah, here I go again. We'll see if we can get these to survive. There. It's all clean for you to make dirty again. Hey, you gotta get off. One word, another word. You know? So it's right next to each other. If you go too far around, it's hard to film. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Oh, she just pooped on it. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, I can't think of a capital N right now.
I was wondering what you're doing, but I didn't want to like criticize.
Is this a capital N?
Yes. And up. So it's like you go up, down, up.
Okay.
There you go. Looks perfect.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so much easier to see when it's dark. You're right. It was so hard to see before.
Yeah, it'll just be funny. It's like all etched into the wood. Okay guys, while you were at school, me and Ethan, me and Dad did something fun for Willow. You ready? Look what we did!
Look,
We
Willow.
put your name on it! It's yours!
Oh, look! Spell it and stuff.
She's like, eh.
Come on.
I'm gonna act not interested. Oh, okay, bye! But we have now a second stump. So what to do on that stump?
What to do?
But me and Dad, we figured it out.
Did you?
It's not.
Wow! Good thing you put that there.
Okay, come
Yeah.
on, goats. You guys
Otherwise,
can do it.
they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You're not Willow.
See? Winston can
There
go
you go,
on
Winston.
it. Anybody.
As long as you're not Willow.
Everybody else has to share this one. It's
Yep.
just, it's the rules.
We have smart goats. They can read.
They are smart. Remember last week when we canned those 5 pounds of green beans? Well guys, this row still has a ton more. So here I am now Googling different green bean recipes, and I found one that I think is gonna be amazing. I'm also gonna gather some basil and some fresh chives. It's so rewarding to walk out a few steps from your back door and gather food and cook it for dinner. But it definitely does take more time to prep everything. For tonight's dish, we have to chop off the ends and dice them up a little bit. And we're gonna do something called blanching, where we just boil them for a couple minutes because we still want them green and crunchy. When you grow your own herbs, you'll find yourself just like grabbing whatever and throwing it in salads. You don't really care as much about what type of herb there is, you just throw it all in. So for this recipe, it calls for, you know, a good half a cup of different herbs and then a nice crisp red onion. Once the green beans have been blanched and cooled, we'll add the red onion, yes, onion, herbs, and fresh Parmesan. We'll go with a really simple dressing of olive oil and balsamic vinegar, and then just season it with salt. Oh my goodness. This was really good. It was fresh, it was crisp, it had a lot of flavor in it, and you've got that salty Parmesan along with the tang of the balsamic vinegar. It was definitely a fun new way to eat our green beans. Oh, are you sharing it with your daughter? You are so sweet.
Thanks for watching today's video, guys. If you want to reminisce and watch the video where Willow had her triplets, click right here.